Hello, everybody. It's me, Shannon LaBruyere. I am live and loving it tonight. Welcome to Sunday Night Live, where we explore the principles that equip us to thrive in change. The change that we want, the change we didn't ask for, from one end of the spectrum to another. When we exercise these principles in our lives, we become more resilient, we become more influential in the midst of change, and we become more autonomous. We are in charge of our future, our choices, and we feel less like victims. So, all of those are great reasons to hang out here. Welcome. Oh, we've already got Mary is here live. Mary, I love it when you're able to attend live. I'm so glad to see you. Hi. If you are new to Sunday Night Live, feel free to drop a hello in the chat. Let us know you're here. Let us know who you are. You'll have to give StreamYard permission to use your name and your profile picture so that we know who you are. But if you're willing to do that, we would love to get to know you better, and we would love to see where you're from, find out a little bit about you. So put that in the comments. Zippy is here. You can see parts of her. There she is, her tail. Hi, Carol. Happy Sunday is right. Happy Sunday is right. Now, Zippy, I hope you're cooperative. We'll see. I might have to kick her out, you guys. Seriously. Seriously. Okay, we'll see. We'll see how she does. So, tonight, the Thrive principle that we are going to explore is respect the now. Respect the now says we can be present in this moment, not wishing it were yesterday, not wishing it were tomorrow, not rushing past it, but being intentional about being present in the here and now. And that matters for our topic that we're going to explore tonight, which is yes always means no. Yes always means no. And the principle, respect the now, helps us to be present in the moment when we're saying yes so that we can maybe make a different choice potentially. All right. And a big shout out and thank you to Thumb Roast Coffee, who has been a faithful sponsor of Sunday Night Live for well over a year. And if you haven't tried Thumb Roast Coffee, now's your chance. You can go to thumbroastcoffee.com, type in the coupon code when you check out Thrive, THRIVE, and you get 15% off. And it is delicious coffee. You deserve great coffee. And Missy Bobo, who's the owner of Thumb Roast Coffee, is passionate about giving it to you. So check it out and use that coupon code to get a discount and have that coffee delivered straight to your mailbox. And I promise it's going to be the best smelling mail you ever received. I love when I open my mailbox and Thumb Roast Coffee is in there. It's fantastic. So I encourage you to do that. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Carol says it's great coffee and she needs to order some. Amen to that. All right, so let's get started. Yes always means no. So, yesterday was a Saturday, and my husband was helping a friend. Seriously, Zippy. My husband was helping a friend and he was gone all day. So, after our live stream leadership session from 8 to 9 Eastern, I did some great networking and growing with the John Maxwell, Maxwell Leadership Program. And that was great. And it just was a peaceful day. I was the only one here, me and the pets. And I said yes. You guys, I said yes to a nap. I said yes to a nap. Now, I'm a big fan of naps. And thanks for this laughing emojis, you guys. I'm glad you appreciate the humor of Zippy. I said yes to a nap, you guys, but it was way too late for me to be taking a nap. I said yes to a nap late in the afternoon, and it was glorious. It was glorious. And my yes to that nap which I really wanted at the time, really meant that I was saying no to a good night's sleep. And I know when I take a nap too late in the afternoon and that nap lasts too long that I'm going to have difficulty sleeping. And I did. My yes, I gave into temptation. It sounded great, but it turned into the sacrifice of something that I needed even more, which was to be able to go to bed at a reasonable hour and fall asleep. I didn't fall asleep until well after midnight, and I woke up at 5 like I usually do. And that's about 2.5 hours less than what I need to feel my best. A simple story, but you've done it. You've taken the short-term temptation, right? You said yes and hadn't really been present and intentional in the moment while you were making that decision and didn't give yourself opportunity to say, what are the long-term consequences going to be of this, or even the short term? And sometimes we don't think about it. So 3 areas that I really felt like applied in this arena tonight were busyness, people pleasing, and JOMO. When we say, excuse me, it's FOMO, fear of missing out. JOMO is the joy of missing out, which I'm a big fan of. Busyness, people pleasing, and the fear of missing out. These are 3 areas where I find that I can get caught up in what's happening and not be intentional about where I'm at and what decision I'm making and what commitment I'm making when I say yes, and the cost. There is always a cost. Whenever you say yes, you're saying no to something. Think about that for a minute. Every single time you say yes to something, you are automatically saying no to everything else that could have been happening at that time or with that money or whatever resource it is that you're investing when you say that yes. So busyness, for example, sometimes we feel like we have to say yes to every good cause that comes our way. Yes to every good cause that comes our way. It is a glorious thing to be a volunteer. It really is. And we can get that ball rolling to where we almost can't keep up with ourselves, right? That's a snowball rolling downhill. We say yes to help that person move. We say yes to help that person with their homework. We say yes to go serve spaghetti at the fundraising dinner. We say yes to all of these really, really good things. All of those are good things. And then we find out that our busyness has kept us occupied 7 nights a week. And what we've said no to is potentially the opportunity to make money. Maybe we didn't work because we were doing the other thing. The opportunity perhaps to make money that could position us to have even more impact. Sometimes it's the opportunity to just be still and not be surrounded by people, be silent. When we say yes to busyness, we are saying no, and busyness for the sake of busyness. When we say yes to busyness, because we're accustomed to being busy, if I'm not doing anything right this minute, hey, I might as well do that. Our busyness can take away our opportunity to do something else. We're actually saying no to something that's potentially better. And the only way you're going to know that is if you consider it. How do you consider requests for your time, requests for you to be busy? How do you consider the requests that your house makes or your office makes or your desk makes or your boss makes that just want you to be busy, occupied, doing something, antsy even? You can say yes to busyness, but understand that every time you say yes to that busyness, you are saying no to something else. It's your job to decide, to determine if what you're saying yes to is as important as what you are saying no to. Because every time we say yes, we are also saying no. Anybody else get caught up in busyness? We've been busy all day and we go to bed and we think, wow, I was busy all day. What did I get done? Respect the Now says it's our privilege, really, to be able to step back and before we say yes to just being busy, really count the cost to what we're saying no to. Busyness can erode your days. Busyness can erode your years. It can erode your life if you are not careful. Respect the now and make sure that you, in that moment, before you say yes to being busy, ask yourself, what does this mean I'm saying no to? All right. Anybody fall into the busyness trap? Because I know I do. Sometimes I can spend a lot of time on something that is really minor. And I look back on that and go, gosh, I mean, that was not a big deal, Shannon. Why did you occupy yourself 3 hours trying to get that little portion of the countertop looking just right when you could put a dish towel on it and be done? That's my journey, you guys. All right. The next category is people pleasing. And people pleasing people pleasing has its roots in many places. And so I can't diagnose what makes you a people pleaser, but this is what I can do. I can say that if you are saying yes to make somebody else happy, you are saying no to something that might make you happy. And not that our happiness is the end all, we don't chase happiness, but there is a time for us to really evaluate, why am I saying yes? Am I saying yes to please somebody? I shouldn't say to make them happy, because we do kind things for people, right? And want them to be happy. I think a better way to put it is when we say yes to people because they expect it. That's where people pleasing comes in. Yeah, they expect us to say yes. And so we do, simply because they expect it. We say yes to the boss who asks us to stay overtime. And that yes means we said no to dinner with our family. Every yes also means no. We say yes to something and it means no to something else. We say yes to the parent who guilts us into coming out, visiting them in the middle of the night when it wasn't an emergency. They just wanted to know you would. I don't want to paint this like that's a bad thing. It's not necessarily a bad thing. But we have to be present in the moment and ask ourselves, why am I doing this? Why am I saying yes to that parent who's trying to guilt me when I've made time for them? Why do we say yes to the person who pops up at our front door when they didn't call? Why do we let them in? Because they make us feel guilty? We have to? We say yes to them invading our space, and we just said no to fill in the blank. Your opportunity to straighten up, get ahead of the game, your opportunity to spend some time with your family, your opportunity to spend some time with yourself. The list goes on and on. And Respect the Now says that this isn't a cookie cutter. This isn't a cookie cutter thing that I always say no when my parent calls me in the middle of the night and tries to haul me out of bed to go get him ice cream. Those things might be appropriate for you, But if you are mindlessly doing them or you're doing them for the wrong reason, you are absolutely saying no to something else. And that something else might be far more valuable. You have to decide, this is one of the keys to thriving and change, owning the fact that our decisions determine our results. Our decisions and our actions are creating our results. Respect the Now says, I'm going to own that. I'm going to own that. And I'm going to take the time, even if it's just a few moments, to reflect and say, if I say yes to that request, what am I saying no to? Am I saying no to my self-respect? Am I saying no to an appropriate boundary? Every yes has a no that goes along with it. Carol says, I had one more event I was going to go to today at 5, and I knew it just was a good thing overall, and I had to give in and stay home, and I'm so happy I did. Sometimes we say no to the good, Carol, so that we can embrace the great. I love that. I love that thought, and I love that you recognize that something was a good thing, but that it wasn't going to be a great thing for you. And you made the decision that was going to allow you to have the great. Your yes to attending that wonderful event would have meant saying no to something else that was going to be more valuable to you and more in alignment with your purpose and your goals and what you want for your life. Mary says, we do have to be careful with our decisions when to say yes or no. It is huge, and it really, really is. All right, the third one is this, FOMO. Is FOMO causing you to just say yes without thinking about all of the no's that go along with it? We pick up our phone to check our email, and then we kind of open up, Facebook or WhatsApp or TikTok or Snapchat. There are so many, LinkedIn, so many opportunities. We pick up that phone to check that email, and then we just slide over to see what's happening on Facebook, say, and we say yes in a split second to the invitation to find out more about the 10 most hilarious Twitter posts about mimes. And before you know it, 2 hours later, we have said no to the opportunity to go take a walk in the sunshine. We said no to be able to make a meaningful connection with somebody that we care about with a phone call or a card or a visit. That fear of missing out, getting sucked into, oh, what is that about? Ooh, what's that little thing? What's that little story? Ooh, what's that person have to say? That 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and we've said yes. And then without thinking, we keep saying yes. And our time just flies out the window. I'm not here to make you feel guilty. I'm really not. But if this is pricking your heart, good. Because you don't have to fritter your great because you keep clutching at the good or clutching at the not good. FOMO is not good. It's not good. It's a terrible driver. And yet we say yes to it so often. I say yes to it so often. I had to stop playing Words with Friends. It's a Scrabble game that you play on your phone. And when I added up how many hours a day, that's a shocking statement right there. I'm going to say it again. I was spending hours a day playing Scrabble on my phone with people I hardly knew. We didn't have conversations. I was not having meaningful relationships. This was nothing but me enjoying a word game, getting sucked into the FOMO. Oh, looks like somebody else is on. There's a new person I can challenge. Let me see if I can beat them. Oh my gosh, they've got extra points. I want to earn extra points. I don't want to miss out on the. And before I knew it, hours of my day were spent frittered on a word game on my phone. It happened that fast, felt like. It wasn't even good. It was mediocre. it wasn't bad until it became bad, you know? Being present when we make that decision to say yes to something means that we'll give ourselves an opportunity to consider, what am I saying no to? Carol says, those are good words. I really wanted to do it, but my body just needed to rest. Yeah, you took the great. The great said, my body needs to rest so that I've got the stamina and the strength I need to do the things that I know are my responsibility, right? My husband calls it opportunity costs. It's a business term. It's a life term, if you ask me. Every time we say yes to something, we are saying no to the opportunity to something else. And if we are not present, if we do not #respect the now, what we will do is we will say yes to silly, meaningless things that rob us of our key resources, our time, our energy, our finances. And we will cost ourselves whatever it was that we could have been doing instead. Saying yes to the great. Saying yes to the great is how we thrive. And how do you know if it's great? Is it in alignment with your values? Is it in alignment with your purpose? Does it bring honor to you and your body, your health, Carol, your need to rest? Is it honoring your talent and your ability? Saying yes to the employee who's not doing their job? Helping them out in a pinch, bailing them out over and over and over because now it's a habit? That yes over time is actually saying, yes, I will help you now. And no, I don't want to take the time to help you to develop, to grow, to do better. Yes and no, they go hand in hand. Every time we say yes, we're also saying no. Where does success lie? When we say yes to the things that are productive, that take us toward our goals, that feed our energy, that feed our soul. And we then are saying no to those things that don't. But when we start saying yes to the stuff that is eroding our self-confidence, making us feel guilty, putting constraints on our time that don't allow us to do the things that only we can do, being a parent, being a spouse, no matter how good the things are that we're saying yes to, we have to always be in touch with, what does it mean I'm saying no to? Because just because it's good doesn't mean it's good. Saying no to the good means we can say yes to the great. Saying yes to the good, like my husband said, now we don't even have the opportunity to have the great. You get to pick. It's on us. We get to decide. So with that, I want to open it up to you. Where do you need to be more intentional about what you're saying yes to? Is there an area where you know, oh yeah, I need to look at that? Do you need help learning how to stop saying yes? Learning how to actually say no instead of yes? I can help with that. And I'd love to help you. Drop it in the chat, drop it in the comments. You can always message me. I'm happy to hear from you. I'd love to hear from you. But give this some thought. Respect the now. One of those Thrive principles that we don't spend a lot of time talking about on Sunday Night Live, but it's really important. And that ability to be present in the here and now, recognizing what's valuable and what I need to say no to so that I can say yes to the great things, super important. It will dictate our success. If we continually say yes to the mediocre or the bad, we will never have the kind of life that allows us to thrive, influence people in a positive way, have an impact on the world in a way that's meaningful and changes it. And I believe that every one of us, every one of you has been called to do that. That's why you are trying to grow, because you know how important it is to do what only you can do. Reach the people you can reach, help the people you can help, all the while looking for opportunities to grow and influence so that as you get better, the people around you get better. Say yes to those kind of opportunities. Say yes to that. Do not say yes to the request on Words from Friends or from Words with Friends. Do not say yes to that request. My yes to Words with Friends for a good 3 months took many, many meaningful hours out of my day when I could have been working on my business, connecting with my family, reading a book, growing my mind, right? So I've been there. I'm not being judgy here. I'm the same as you. I struggle sometimes with what I'm saying yes to and really being sincere and not sincere, intentional about my yeses. Sometimes we say yes out of habit because I've always said yes. I'm a member of networking groups. Anybody else a member of a networking group? Business owners, entrepreneurs, career women. We go to networking groups. And the idea there is to make good connections, build good relationships where we can help others and they can help us build our businesses. We want strong communities, strong relationships. Networking groups help with that so much. And I was saying yes to a networking group because I always went to that networking event. I was paying my money, I was going, putting my time in, and I was getting no return. And then it started being, it wasn't that I was getting no return, it was actually costing me. It was costing me in my energy, my frustration level. I felt like I was being disrespected. But I kept saying yes to this investment without thinking about, wait a minute, what does it mean I'm saying no to? And when it got so painful that I realized, oh my gosh, I am spending valuable time and resources here. And when I leave, I feel worse than when I got there. And it takes me a half a day to recoup my energy and get my morale back up. It was time to stop. I eventually got intentional about looking at what is my yes costing me, because every yes meant a no. I exchanged that networking group. I exchanged that networking group for another networking group that was a much better fit, where I could bring the honor and people honored. They valued what I brought. And we've been able to develop beautiful professional relationships, and it's been mutually beneficial. It's been wonderful. But I was only able to do it because I said no to the other one. Had to do it. Saying yes to that meant I didn't have the chance to meet these other wonderful people. Every yes has a no that goes along with it. Carol says we only have 168 hours in a week, and every Saturday we have a class from 8 to 9. We do. And yes, we do. And every week I realize more and more, Carol says, what I need to give up and what I want to do. And every week better and better choices are being made. Yeah, that's continuous improvement, Carol. That is a continuous improvement. And kudos to you for being faithful to that. And every day working just a little bit more, getting better and better. Even things we want to do sometimes are not good for us. Good choices to great choices. And the invitation goes out and I share it. If you ever want to join us, you can contact me and sign up for Saturday morning live stream leadership. And even this Sunday Night Live is always life-changing, Carol says. And thank you. Thank you, Carol. Thank you. Thank you for being faithful to it. And thank you for applying what you've learned, because your impact is exponentially growing because of it. You're choosing to lean in, you're choosing to apply good principles, and it shows. Well done. Mary, you're welcome. I love to encourage you to think before you decide. And you're not alone ever. Laura says those mindless games for me are generally just a pleasant stall for something else I could be doing. I always later regret the time lost. Yeah, Laura, it's a little time filler, and in that that's maybe not such a bad thing. But I'm with you. If it takes more than about 5 minutes of my time, I regret it later. I think, I could have been doing something else. Don't mind a little bit of diversion, but in small doses. I'm with you. The games are challenging, so you get sucked in. Laura, that's the truth. The games are challenging, but this is something that I've discovered that when I have something else that engages my brain that is also challenging, but that it's uplifting and it's not necessarily just a game, I find I crave those kind of games less. And I'm not disrespecting the need to have diversions and fun. That's absolutely legitimate. But we know when we've gone too far, right? We ask ourselves the question, am I saying yes to this mindless diversion at the cost of something else that I know is better? But what I've discovered is that when I have challenging conversations, for example, our masterminds on Saturday mornings, when I come away from a great discussion that's really been meaty and powerful about principles that really allow us to get traction in our lives and in our leadership. When that happens, I feel like I don't need to do a word game to have something to challenge myself. I've been challenged. I've been thinking. I've been engaged. What a beautiful way. And so for those of you who can take part in a book study, take an online class, or go join up at the Parks and Rec and learn a new skill, something that involves your hands, get you out there with people, whatever it is that you need. There's a way to say yes to that that's also going to be saying yes to the things you want and no to the stuff you don't. Live and learn, Laura says. It's the truth. Carol says, I have never played a game. Carol, that's amazing. Carol, are you still on a flip phone? Because that is part of it. This is a little bit tempting when you get the smartphone, I'm just going to say. But it's a tool. And when we understand that it's a tool, it's so helpful. So helpful to understand this is a tool. It's not a toy. So I can use this in a way that's going to help me get what I need, get what I want. That's the JOMO class that I run from time to time. The joy of missing out really addresses that FOMO piece, that fear of missing out that keeps us checking our phone and getting sucked into social media. Carol says, yes, she's got a flip phone and no data. So that is one way to make sure you're not playing word games on your phone. And I respect that. Laura says, I've fallen into this many times, so I'm speaking from experience. Yeah. Yep. Me too. Yeah. We're all walking this journey together. We can learn from each other. And so with that, it's time for me to go. Carol says she's afraid of upgrading. You know what? Carol, understanding the potential for the temptation and the potential is half the battle when you upgrade your phone and get a smartphone. It really does help to be able to understand, oh, yeah, that's a trap that I don't want to fall into. And this is what I'm going to do to make sure I don't. All right, you guys, this has been awesome. Thank you. I want to encourage you to follow the Thrive and Change page. Follow this page. Facebook has made some changes. And if you want to continue to see the content I put out, it'll be important for you to hit that you are going to follow Thrive and Change. And if you do that, you'll get notified when I post the poll later this week. I would love to know, what areas would you like me to discuss on Sunday Night Live? Where are you wishing that you had a little bit more skills? Where would you like to be able to change more quickly or more smoothly? Where are you stuck? Where can I help you to get moving toward the goal of fulfilling your purpose, using your gifts and your strengths and your talents, influencing the people around you for good? All of those things are why I do what I do, and I want to help you. So if you've got some ideas for topics for Sunday Night Live, drop them in the comments here. You can put them on my Thrive and Change page and just say, here's a suggestion for Sunday Night Live. I would love to know, because this really is all about you. It really is. And I love you very much. Thank you for trusting me to help you and guide you. And I encourage you to, I think it's follow the Thrive and Change page, so that we can continue to have these kind of conversations and grow together. So thank you very much. Mwah. Carol says she's interested in the JOMO. Okay, well, we can talk about it. All right. I love you guys. Take care. Bye.